The Spanish Prime Minister has for the first time invoked the triggering of Article 155 of the Spanish Constitution, effectively allowing Madrid direct rule over Catalonia. For more, let's cross now to correspondent Sarah Morris on what's been another busy day in Spain's worst political crisis in 4 decades. Sarah, it began with a cabinet meeting, followed by that request by the Prime Minister for a clarification.
That's right. He's asked Carlos Puigdemont, the head of the Catalan government, to clarify whether he did indeed declare independence last night. There was a lot of confusion, said the Prime Minister, partly because Carlos Puigdemont said that he would suspend that declaration of independence. But then on the sidelines in the parliament, he signed a declaration with the pro-independence members. He may have done that to keep the CUP happy, because the CUP criticised Carlos Puigdemont in the parliament and said that his statement to the parliament was not what they had come to see. It may be that the Prime Minister wants to divide that already divided coalition in Catalonia between the hardliners and those who might be prepared to talk about negotiation or a pause on independence. And the Prime Minister in the Parliament trying to show that he is using Article 155 as a last resort. He's talked to the opposition members, both the Socialists and the Citizens' parties, and they are both in agreement that if Carlos Puigdemont says he will steam ahead with independence, says that that was a declaration of independence last night, they will back him in taking those extraordinary measures.
Yeah, what does Article 155 entail?
It's never been tested before, and it's similar to some other constitutions, such as the German constitution. It allows the central government to take back powers that have already been assigned to the autonomous regions, and that could range from anything to taking back the police powers, the Catalan police's power. It could also involve removing Carlos Puigdemont, suspending him from office, and calling regional elections. Now, calling regional elections is exactly what the Citizens' Party wants. Albert Rivera has been calling for that all along. He says that's the best way to allow Catalan people to vote, to see if independence has a majority, because he says that it didn't at the last regional election. He says that's the best way to get a quick solution to this crisis. The Socialists, meanwhile, telling Carlos Puigdemont that if he wants a mediator, the Spanish Parliament is the mediator. There are cross parties and they're happy to set up a commission. And in fact, he's won that from Mariano Rajoy. There will be a commission that will redo the Spanish constitution. It will do it in 6 months and then present a new proposal to the Spanish Parliament. And he's invited Carlos Puigdemont to join in that.
Sarah, as we speak, the Spanish news agency EFE reporting that Mariano Rajoy has given Carlos Puigdemont until next Monday to give him that answer as to whether or not it was a declaration of independence. Again, are we seeing an upping of the ante at this point?
He certainly wants to back Carlos Puigdemont into a corner. Carlos Puigdemont tried last night to back Mariano Rajoy into a corner, to say the international community is watching you, everybody wants mediation. And Mariano Rajoy has tried to turn the tables on Carlos Puigdemont and to say that no European country would accept the result of that referendum. He said that it was fraudulent, and he said that there were no guarantees that people had voted more than once, that in some areas there were more votes than there were people entitled to vote. He said it was all aimed at imposing independence on people. And he said very few people in Catalonia wanted independence, and it wouldn't do anybody any good. In fact, he talked about a fairy tale that had collapsed with the pulling out of Catalonia of companies. And he said, far from being peaceful, it had created all sorts of conflicts.
Now, in his speech on Tuesday evening, Puigdemont said, thanks to this referendum, Catalonia is on the map and we're going to be taken seriously. We did hear, as you were mentioning, the leader of the Spanish Socialists, after his meeting with the Prime Minister earlier, talk about a constitutional change in Spain that would allow more autonomy for regions. Was there more on that? in Rajoy's speech before Parliament?
There was a very little on that, apart from the fact that everybody can contribute to that there can be a debate about the Constitution. We've heard lots of different views already coming out of that suggestion, because the Citizens Party said we do have to be careful about desiring and putting a lot of hopes on that constitutional reform, because he said the Citizens Party wouldn't be signing up to rewards for Catalan nationalists that had committed what they said was a coup d'etat. He said that they wouldn't be getting special privileges in the Constitution. That might suggest that they wouldn't be getting the Basque deal, which is gather taxes yourself and retain the taxes yourself. That may show you the sort of difficult, muddy terrain that we'll be getting into. But certainly the socialists also putting the pressure on Carlos Puigdemont. If he wants dialogue, is he happy to join in that debate and to make the case to the rest of Spain that Catalonia should have a special situation, be described as a nation in the Constitution, and get the sort of privilege that the Basque country has always had under for historical reasons?